This video is designed to give you an introductory walkthrough on how to set up your gradebook in onCampus onRecord, how to set up a few assignments, and a basic understanding into the terminology, display options, and how to move around and get it to work for you. Give you those initial ideas so that you have an understanding of how the system works so that when we come back in August, you have a head start on getting things ready for the next school year. So this is what the gradebook looks like, sort of. This is what it looks like on a bit of a shrunken screen. The layout across the top here is going to look a little bit different when you have it on a full monitor, but for the purpose of this video, some of these menu items are now packed into this action drop-down. Basic things that you see here, you've got your course information and the display term information. So this is only showing information that goes from March essentially to June of the school year 2017-2018. onCampus onRecord has the gradebooks divided into three, so in order to see information from previous terms, you have to change the term you're looking at, and that can be done by changing the class or term. What you see right now is the overall class average, the number of students, and the number of assignments I've set up. Here you can see the shortcuts and the icon keys. You can't actually click on any of them. You can see what happens, they disappear, but if you're ever in doubt of why you see certain things on the screen, this is the place to go, and if you want the keyboard shortcuts to how to put them in action, they're underneath. Down the left-hand side, you have all the students. It is pretty obvious which students have an IEP, except of course they're called learning plans in the onCampus onRecord world, so it shows as an LP instead of an IEP. The three dots or the ellipses will give you some more information about the student. You can see the student's gradebook, or you can compose an official note. And official notes is also something for another day, but essentially it puts a note on the record that the mentors can see, the heads of school can see, the guidance people can see to let them know about what's going on for that student. Scrolling down a bit, the ellipses beside Fred Durf actually has more information because Fred does have a learning profile. So I could click on this and pull up his IEP. First column is the mark for that marking period, and the second column is the overall year mark. Other information that you're going to see as we move from left to right. I have these three assignments set up. I can click an ellipses for each of them. I can get a performance summary. Bulk assigned points. So this is pretty cool. So if you've done an assignment where everyone did really well, or the vast majority of the students did really well, you can actually just click on bulk assigned points and that mark will get assigned to every single student. Bulk assigned comment. What I've done is I've used that here to put in these comment blocks. And if I hover over a comment block, you can see I've got some basic KITCA information set up there. So if you wanted to be able to share with the students, not only the numeric mark, but also their KITCA information, you can do it in a comment because students see the comment. You can also go in here and edit the assignment setting or different aspects about it. We will talk more about that when we get into actually setting up assignments. Other things you can see on the screen is I've got an M, so I can hover over it. I can see that M means missing. I have had to manually type in 0. Just because it's got a code beside it doesn't mean that there's an automatic number associated with it. One of the other things I could do is mark these assignments as late by putting an L in. Again, that does not change the number. You have to manually do it. Different divisions, different departments may have different policies on this, so onCampus onRecord doesn't want to put its own rules on this. The X stands for exempt, and what you can do is you can click on this and then go and fill in more information. So I typed in an M, it knew it was missing, I had to go fill in the 0, and then here I could type in a comment. Something quick just to remind you of the circumstances perhaps about that. Back over here to the comment information, I can click on the comment and I get the same sort of box as I just did for the missing. And I could actually go in here and say he got 4 out of 4 on the knowledge, and I could type in more comment. And I could go in and do the same thing. I could actually put in specific marks for each of these categories. Again, you can hover over it to see, and I believe when the student sees it, it'll actually see it formatted on separate lines. One of the neat things, one of the lovely things about this gradebook is once you enter a mark, you don't actually have to click save. So no more worrying about that timing out. There's our first look at the gradebook.